Job number 2026-2020-2. We're accessing the drain through a newly rehabilitated 4-inch clean-out tee. Now it's PVC, connecting to cast iron at the floor. Counter is at about 146 feet right now. We are looking at the connection of our sewer lateral to the city main sewer. As we slide forward, we can just see it opens up into a much larger pipe there. That's the flow of our city main sewer going by us here. As we pass back, we can see the city main sewer is a clay material, and then there's a little bit of an irregularity at the transition here. We can see a lot of lumpiness going on from the clay as it transitions into the cast iron. So here we've got our clay, and then it's reducing to 4-inch cast iron at our city main sewer connection point. We're kind of angling up a little bit, and now we've leveled off, and now we're going horizontally back towards the house. We have a little bit of flow of water at the laundry sink, just to observe flow characteristics. Right now we have a modest amount of water on the bottom. Ideally we'd like a little trickle that would indicate well-pitched pipe. The flow of water is a little bit wider through here. It also looks like the bottom is somewhat flat right now. Maybe there's a little bit of calcification on the bottom that's causing it to flatten out, and the water is kind of wider for that reason. Otherwise, we'd normally see just a skinny trickle of water through most of the pipe. Also, we can see the top of the cast iron has a lot of heavy pitting. It's older vintage cast iron that's had some time to have some wear and tear. Here we see, again, a kind of a consistent theme. We've got just a wide, very, very shallow stream. Again, probably have some scaling that is accumulated on the bottom, kind of flattening the bottom instead of keeping it a curve. Not a tremendous issue there. Here we see a little bit of stalactite formations with little water droplets on them, giving evidence that there is some
leakage,
water intrusion, perforation of some sort. Here would be another stalactite formation. You can see the water droplet kind of hanging off the end, minerality being deposited, making that formation.
Roughly a 4-inch diameter pipe. 112.
Little bit of debris in the pipe. Looks like maybe a piece of a rag or a wet wipe just laying there, possibly from an oopsie over time.
Okay.
There we see another little stalactite formation at the top there with a little water droplet hanging off of it. still in the portion of the sewer lateral that's outside in the yard. A few pieces of solids there, and maybe another little calcification lump. Looks like that is kind of fixed,
Yeah.
creating kind of an eddy there where solids are sitting kind of behind it. But we do have like a little calcified lump formation sitting there at about 81. Kind of another little ridge at 80.
Maybe one will force the other one to develop.
Another little stalactite hanging in it from the top. You can see the little water droplet hanging off there. Possibly even a tree root hanging in through that. So indicating a little spot where there's a perforation.
Did you say a tree? A tree branch? Another one, yeah.
That would be, those are spider webs hanging in.
Oh, doggone. Spiders made it.
Got little spider webs there. Here we are at 57 feet. We see a Y entering from the top. That is our main cleanout located in the basement. So that is our that's our exit point right by the water meter. So now we are inside underneath the basement footing or foundation or floor. Past the Y, we're sitting under the footing here of the wall. But this is for sure our main cleanout at 57.
Where is that exactly on the floor?
We'll have a surge coming by us shortly. We just had a toilet flush.
Yes.
Here we go. A little bit of soap hanging out in the top of the pipe through here
Oh,
from some washing machine use or something else. Passing back through a Y junction. A little more soap hanging out.
we're at 39 feet, okay.
Yep. Starting to get closer to our access point here by the laundry tub. Passing by another change in direction, 45 turn or so. Here we have a Y joining in off to the one side. And we can see from a distance here, there's some flaking formations here, a lot of heavy pitting on the top of this section of pipe. It almost looks bigger than the pipe actually is what it almost looks like.
Quite a bit of pitting,
Yeah.
10 feet.
Because as we pass back here, we can see this is our pipe. And as we scooch forward, there's kind of a hollow space there. Gonna push pause for a second. All right, so we pushed pause to do a little bit of examining, and we have proved that the Y that we can see on the bottom right of the screen, that is in fact our junction for our bathroom, two bathrooms, a full bath and a half bath. That is the Y connection. And then as we pass back, we can see that there is definitely a void in the top of the pipe. We can see the jagged edges of what remains of the curve of the cast iron, and basically above that is soil and possibly even the bottom of the concrete slab of the basement floor. And then what we are also looking at on really to the right hand side of the screen right now, that is our junction for our floor drain. So our floor drain has water entering in right there. I'll dump a little bit of water down the floor drain here so you can kind of see the water actually flowing through this point. There we go, we can see the water flowing in. So that is a Y, but what it seems to be is the top part of that Y is gone. And we can see that there's just basically the bottom half is remaining. And then as we pass back through that Y, we're entering right into our 90. So if I push forward, the camera arches up and we can see we've got that big void. And then we're entering into our cast iron 90. And again, just a big, large void on the top. Transitioning to cast iron at the base of the drain by the laundry sink. Access is through that PVC cleanout, and then we have our connection to the cast iron. Here we have our other stack, and then there we have our floor drain. So standing back, we have the floor drain, the stack, or the laundry drain, and the bathroom stack.